Hello, welcome back to our video number, I've lost the plot, I don't know how many, because I film things in all sorts of orders and then put it all together. So welcome back. I hope you've got all your little pieces cut out. There's lots to this page. It's a Cascade waterfall page for my lovely friend Lynn. She saw one that I'd done in an older album, and I'm sure she's worked it out by now, but this really was for her. I thought I'd include one. So we have got all these little bits and pieces. It looks terribly complicated, but it really isn't. Again, if we break it down into stages, then you'll see, whoops, lost my strip, how easy it is to put together. So you've got your base paper, and you've got 3 photo mats, all scored at ½ an inch at the top of each one. And what you want to do is put them together, just matching the edge of the scored section with the fold of the one above, and then put score tape over it, and so that they are joining at the very top edge. So when you turn it over, you've got the top edge of the first one showing, that flips up, and then you've got the bottom, the top edge of the second one butted up against the fold line of the first, and then the same for the one underneath. Don't worry if you can see the tape through there, because we can cover that up with strips of decoration. They all need to be straight. Mine is slightly wonky, but I'm going to trim that little edge. And so that's ready to go onto our page. So let's stick that down first. So we've got the tape on the back here. Let's take that off. She says, let's not. Oh, quick. I was hoping to get it in my rubbish bin before it stuck to me, but I didn't manage it. That's it, done. And then you want to position it on your page. Try and get it central. You can measure it if you want to, and try and get it straight. Again, the dots are great because you can line things up with those. So once you've got it on, then we start sticking the papers on. So let's move all these bits out of the way. I've got them there so I can see what order I want to put them in. But we'll do the front cover first. So that's the black spotty paper. So I know I haven't done my edges, so let's do them as we go, just with my little pen. It's a bit quicker than inking, just one run along the edge and that's it. She says, going backwards and forwards, that's it coloured. So let's stick this one down first, and I'm just going to do that with tacky glue. Not putting too much on, she says. Squiggle in the middle. And then just centre it. The space that you've got for photos is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, but I thought it was quite nice to have some mats to put the photos on as well, with some decoration on rather than just plain black card. So that's the front one, and then I did cut out Mary and the little lamb, and I'm just going to stick that straight on the front. You can cut any character out you like, or change the structure, of course. But I'm just going to put them just to one side, I think, rather than having everything central. It looks nicer. Okay, so she's on, he's on. Is he, she? I don't know. I did cut the yo-yo off. She does have a yo-yo hanging from her book, and I thought that was just too ambitious to cut that out, so I cut it off. Okay, so that's top. Then we go to the inside, and all of these pieces you can put in whatever order you like. I've got a pocket for the top and a mat for the bottom, because when you stick a 6x4 photo on that, you will have a nice edge of paper sticking out around the edge. So let's just do the edge again. You do have to be careful your pen doesn't slip. So it's best to do this with the side that you want facing upwards, facing away from you, so if your pen slips, it slips on the wrong side. I of course never remember that, and I'm always having little black lines trailing along. Okay, so I'm going to go the black text on the next page. How can the glue dry up when you've just used it? Come on. Oh, here we go. It's got very quiet, hasn't it? Concentrating. Okay, stick that one down. If you can't see where you're sticking it, just put a piece of copy paper underneath or another piece of paper underneath so that you can actually see the black edges of what you're sticking things onto. So that one goes down there, and then the little 2-inch sections are for the top of each of the flaps, so that you can put little tags in there. Look, here I'm doing it again. So I want the red side to show, so I'm having the check side facing me, just in case I slip. Haha, which I've just done. Okay. And then I'm just going to stick 3 sides of that one. No, there's only 2 sides. 2 sides in the bottom. Good. And that one is just going to go up here. So there's a pocket for journaling and tags, and a nice photo mat that you can put decoration on if you want to. Okay, and then let's lift it up and do the bottom one. I'm going to stick this one down, but I'm going to stick it so that we can put something underneath it. So I'm just going to use some double-sided tape for that, just along that bottom edge. Scissors. Because it doesn't wet the paper, and if there's too much tacky glue on, I've found the papers do curl a little bit. So I'm just going to stick that one down. I haven't put it completely flat, there is just a slight lift to it, again so that you can get something underneath there. So that's that one, that's that one, that's that one. So on here, I was just going to put the cream paper there, and then the text up there. And then again, that's a bit of a blank canvas to add other things onto it. Doing it again, let's turn it over quick before I have a real whoopsie. Memory like a sieve. Right. Stick it down quick. So tacky glue or tape, whichever you're using, on your mat, and stick it down. This one you can see exactly where you're putting your mat. And then the last piece. What did I do? Did it again. I will learn. I'll really mess something up and then I won't have any more paper to do it again. Okay, and that one goes up here. Like that. And then the border strip will just fit quite neatly across there. So I'm going to cut it so that it's the same size as the paper, which means that I'll get 2 strips out of it. So let's cut it in half, fold it in half, cut it in half, ink the edges. Do it the right way this time. That one. Oh, drawing on me. And the last one. And let's stick this one down. So line the edges up. I'm just going to butt it up to the top of the black card above and stick it down. And then I'm going to do the same on this one. It should fit. If it doesn't fit, just trim it slightly, because what you don't want is to stick something in there and then for it to curl over, or for you not to be able to fold the top flap down. So I'm just going to trim a little bit of the red off one edge. Try it again. There's a row of tiny dots on the edge, just above the cream frilly edge. So I've just trimmed along those, and I think that one will fit now. Because it's going to slide in there, let's not ink those edges. Whoops. So I'm just going to put that the white edge. Oh, white edge! I can't believe I'm doing that. In at the top, and then I'm just sort of going to slide it into the gap. But what I don't want is for it to sit on that page. So really stick it down. And then just make sure that your pages, your folds, fold. Whoops. Preferably after the glue's dried and it doesn't move the paper. Okay, so there's my waterfall page. What else was I going to add? Oh, a little flower. I have got 2 tabs here, and I've put magnets in them, but I might take the magnets out and actually just have them over here like that, just on the page, rather than catching anything. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take the magnets out. So we'll just use them as decorative tabs rather than magnetic ones, I think. There's plenty of room in this book. This spine on this book is really wide because when you start adding photos in, and I had a lovely email last week from someone who was adding over 100 photos into an album. You imagine the thickness of 100 photos, it's going to build the book up, and what you don't want is the book to be chock-a-block with pattern paper before you start and then you not be able to shut it. So I have made this one with quite a wide spine to allow you to put loads of photos in, and tags and journaling spots. So that one's going on there, and the next one is just going to stagger and sit on that one there, I think. So they fit together like that. And then I did cut a little flower out, and I was just going to put the flower on the top there. And that was from the Nursery Rhymes paper, the 12 by 12, where Mary came from. I could cut another one out as well to stick down there. So that was the waterfall page. You could stick another strip across the top if you wanted to, the decorative strip. I haven't, but you can. I might do later on. I'll see what's left after we've done everything else. So now that's ready to go straight into our book. So let's turn it over this way. Do these edges. And the edges here. And then I'm going to put double-sided tape on here. Double-sided tape. Where's the, if I can find the end, here we go. I should have done this before we started, but do the sides as well. And the reason I'm doing that is because this page is quite bulky, and I want the paper of the card that we're sticking it to stay quite flat. So let's go overboard with the tape. Right, let's take the backing papers off. Here we go, that'll be another age. I tell you what, I'll switch off and switch back on once I've done it, and then you're not watching me because it's very painful. Right, all done. So now we're just ready to stick it into our book. So bring your book back in, line up your page. Not quite right. This red line tape, what's happening under there? I just need to move that corner. It's so sticky, if things aren't in properly, it's tricky to get them out. It is ostrich, darlings. Okay, let's twizzle that a little bit. That's it. Stick it back down. Oh my gosh. What's happening on this page? Ah, so what was happening on the page was this edge wasn't straight. So I've trimmed it down, and now I'm going to re-stick it. No one will ever know. So, don't know how I've done that, but it's in. So, there's our waterfall page ready to have photos added. Now let's move on to the matching page that goes on this side. Let's move that out of the way and bring our little pieces back in. Move all the bits out of the way. Get rid of that one, that one's been there for ages. Okay, so base paper is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. No, it's the back of Checkers, 12 by 12. And then the pieces that we've got to go with that are a spotty to match. And then we've got our spotty, have I said spotty? Black card flaps, that was it, that's what I was talking about. One slightly longer than the other, and then that top edge scored, and just trim the flap at an angle. And then the other one just sits over the inside of that, slightly smaller so it's hidden. And then we've got our cream piece, goes on the top, and the putty can. We've got our tab down there, and then inside, not sure what that is, we've got our little black piece and the cream pocket for the bottom. Okay, so let's put the black section together first. Excuse me. Move these out of the way. So take the one with the flap and have the bulk of it facing away from you, and just put some tape on, or some tacky glue on that little flap. This is the top, it's going to fold over, and then take the underneath section and stick it onto the flap so that when you shut it you can't see the piece underneath. Whoops. Perhaps it's best to do it that way so that it's facing you and then you can see. And then, where's my double-sided tape gone? It's run away. Has it fallen on the floor? Oh no, stuck to my album. God. Okay, then I'm going to put double-sided tape over that join. And some at the bottom. Any opportunity for a pocket, take it. So that's our section done. Now we can put the front piece on. So take cream paper. I've used that crocodile scallop punch again. Let's turn it over just in case. So I'm just going around the edges with my pen. Look, I've done it. Good job I turned it over. And that can be stuck down, so I'm just going to use tacky glue for that. And stick it down. Just try and get it as central as you can. And then bring your cat in and your tab. So ink the edges of your tab. And wherever those pesky magnets have gone, I now need them. Oh, here they are. Stuck to my crocodile. So let's put one magnet in the tab. Down by the bottom, by the fold. And then the tab with the side that the magnet's on facing downwards. I'm going to stick that down to the bottom of here before I put the cat on. Stick that on there. Press it down. And now the putty cap can go on. He's just going to go down the bottom, down Just touching the tab, I think. I think the cat's straight and his double base goes on at an angle. Like that. And then the whole thing sits on this spotty section, so let's just bring that back in now and do the edges. I'm learning. Oh, done it again. It's the fine point on these that works for this. The chisel end is too hard, but the brush end is nice and soft and just gives an easy edge. It just works really easily on the edge. And actually I might as well do that one, hadn't I, while we're here. Turn it over. It's lovely, they just disappear, but you don't get ink all over your page. Right, so the next thing to do is to take your spotty piece and you want to fit it and fold it around your base paper, like that. Make sure that it's central and just stick those two pieces down on the reverse side with a bit of tacky glue, like that. Make sure that it's straight. So that's your belly band, and this forms a pocket on the front here. So I've lined up the very bottom edge of the tab with the bottom edge of the paper. That's where I'm going to stick this down. So let's take the tape off the back of this one. Oh, good. Quick as you like. And then centre it, line it up, stick it down. And then the magnet can go underneath the bottom paper. So just hold the paper over the magnet, make sure that your piece is flat, and then stick that little magnet in place. If you can find the end of your tape. Oh, here it is. So that's the belly band. We've got a pocket under the belly band, we've got a pocket under the centrepiece, and then we'll just add a pocket inside here. I haven't put anything there because I thought perhaps I could put a character in there. We'll see when we get to the end. So I'm just going to trim those top edges of that. This was my little section of the 8x8 Mother Goose paper, and it's the top edge, and I just managed to get that Mary Had a Little Lamb title there. So what I've done is fold it so that it's as wide as the mat underneath. Actually, it will fold around that mat underneath, like that, if you would like to stick yours on. Whoops. It goes across like that. And then this one just sits on the top there. So let's do the edges of this one and get it stuck down. So just tacky glue all the way around the edges. middle. I can't not do that. Okay, stick it down. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of tacky glue under that bottom edge there without moving it. I know it won't come undone because it's been well tucked onto the sides. And that just forms a nice little pocket. That closes up. Now why is that doing that? Perhaps I need to move the magnet just a little bit. So I really want it to sit flat. So test it before you stick it down. Perhaps it will when the page is in the book. So let's put tape on the back of here now and get it stuck in. I hope this paper's straight. I can't believe I cut one wonky. One across the middle. I don't like the red line tape because you have to cut it, and I much prefer to have a tape that you can rip. It just saves time when you're using lots of it. But of course you can't with this. And these backing papers are so static. And the tape's sticky. I'm not doing very well. Ooh. Oh, go in the basket. Oh, sticking everywhere. Right, a little bit of tacky glue just down the side there. A couple of squiggles across the middle and just down that edge. And then I think we need a new page in our book. Yes, we do. So, where are my pages? You just grab a page. Have I got one that I made earlier? Hopefully I have. Yeah. Here's one I made earlier. So, let's stick this onto it. Centre it up and stick it down. I like that page. I like the red and black. I always liked red and black. I loved the Communique collection Graphic 45 did. It was red and black. Okay, so now we're ready to put this one in our book. We need to put double-sided tape or tacky glue on our spine piece. So go near the fold and then near the edge. Near the edge. Make sure that's well stuck down, and then pull that one off. Oh, now they've got me. Okay, and take your page, drop it against your spine, line it up against that fold, line up your top and bottom edges, and then just bring that spine up to meet it, and stick it well down. And that's it. There's our double page set finished. So it's looking nice. Lots of room for photos and another little pocket there, and also more photo mats under there as well. So thanks very much for working through that one, and I'll see you back in the next video for our next double page set.